gods of Erionwel. There are 7 gods that are considered the main deities. The primary deities are the highest part of the pantheon of faith. These gods are revered and feared, and people try to avoid their attention. First, there was Lorecast, the goddess of life. She is associated with love, birth, motherhood, stars, and hope. Lorecast is thought to be the first Deiver created by the Great Mother, brought into existence to nurture all things that live and grow. She tends to the garden of creation closely, and ensures that those that mean to cause harm to the natural order come to a swift end. When she is angered, she calls on her lover, Aramis, to enact vengeance for her. Lorecast has many representations across Erionwel. In Indiri she is often pictured as a beautiful woman with 9 arms, sometimes even with an elephant's head. In the dark lands of Nurmengard to the north, she is sometimes represented as a fierce mother bear. Aramis, the god of death. Associated with death, darkness, the void, loss, disease, famine, inevitability. The god of death is the most feared in the pantheon, but also highly respected. Mythology states that when the Great Mother had created Lorecast, life thrived, but without death, plants were strangling each other for light, and animals were attacking each other's young to create more room for their own. This upset her greatly, so she brought Aramis into being. His job is to maintain the balance in the world, to ensure that life has room to flourish, and to guide the souls of the dead to wherever they may go, the place that none have yet discovered. Though in Zawati he takes the form of a vulture-headed spider. Next we have the secondary deities. These are the most commonly worshipped gods. People often pray to them, and are ascribed a god at birth depending on their birth month. People believe that the god you were born under determines the fate of your life. Being born under Ondra is considered to be the best of luck. These deities were birthed after the primary deities as 2 sets of twins, all of whom fell in love with their opposites. Cerion, god of air. He is associated with storms, inspiration, art, music, dawn, stories, laughter, and glory. Cerion loves Feliana, and it is said that the rain is the only time that they may come together, so many cultures consider rain to be a time for lovers and beauty. Every culture depicts him differently, some as an air elemental, and others as a man with shining hair riding in a silver chariot. His wife is Feliana, the goddess of water, associated with oceans, rivers, rain, cleanliness, sorrow, dusk, adventure, excitement, wine, and freedom. Water brings life. It nourishes the soils. The ocean houses fish. She is loved and respected. The next pair are Ondra, goddess of earth, associated with mountains, fertility, harvest, home, food, caves, safety, flora and fauna, loyalty and protectiveness, and her spouse, Serka, the god of fire, associated with rage, fire, desert, war, strength, lust, order, and piety. The goddess of the earth fell in love with Serka, though his fiery nature burns her. Those that seek signs of their love look to metals and precious jewels, where fire and molten earth mix to form new items. And finally, the last god is known only as the shadow god. Lurien is respected, but never worshipped. For who would willingly invite the god of chaos to notice them? 1 day per year is dedicated to him in the calendar, and there is a widely held belief that those born on this day are cursed. Lurien, the god of chaos, is associated with chaos, change, chance, and doom. there are almost no effigies of Lurien, for very few cultures pictorially acknowledge him. He was the youngest of the Deivers, and his trickster nature has earned him a reputation that leaves him almost as feared as Adamis. Those that study the ancient myths think it odd that all the other Deivers had lovers, but Lurien has ever been alone, and consider this a possible explanation for his nature. And what of any other gods? Well, each culture has them, in all sizes and flavours, for a variety of purposes. There are animal gods, fae gods, nature gods, spirits, jinns, secret gods, all manner. But the 7 mentioned here span all nations of Erionwel and their mythology, and are a common ground among all cultures.